We've all been there, haven't we? Feeling damaged. Emotionally, financially, you name it. That feeling where your heart, your business, your spirit, it just feels broken. So if you feel like you're at the bottom looking up, this is for you. We're about to walk through how the very act of breaking can be the start of your greatest reinvention.
And wow, it really does feel like that, doesn't it? When you've poured every ounce of yourself into something and it just crumbles, it feels final, like a total knockout. You look in the mirror and you almost don't recognize who's looking back. And I just want you to know, that feeling, it's 100% valid. We all go through it.
I mean, think about it. Think about Michael Jordan. Before he was the Michael Jordan, he got cut from his high school basketball team. He actually went home and cried. Now that could have been the end of the story. But instead, he used that failure as fuel. So what if this devastating moment for you? What if it's not the end of the book? What if it's just the start of a whole new chapter you haven't even written yet?
And that brings us to this really crucial idea. It's not what you go through that defines you. It's how you decide to frame it. The secret is to stay with the breaking, to not run from it, because that's exactly where the blessing is hiding. Think of all the pain, the trials, the tragedy, not as signs that you're defeated, but as invitations to get so much stronger.
Okay, I love this slide because it shows the massive perspective shift we're talking about. On the left, that's the raw emotion, right? That's what your gut is screaming at you. You feel broken. You feel like a failure. It feels like this huge setback. But on the right, that is the truth you can choose. You're not broken, you're rebuilding. It wasn't a failure, it was a lesson. And this isn't a setback, nope, it's a setup for an epic comeback.
This quote just nails it. Every single time you feel fear, it's a chance to build some bravery. Every heartbreak can literally carve out more space in your heart for a deeper love. So instead of doubting yourself when things get dark, you gotta trust that this process is necessary. You're not just getting through this, you're actually uncovering little victories that were hidden inside the struggle all along.
Look, before you can rebuild anything out there, in the real world, you have to win the war inside your own head. You know that voice, that negative chatter that's just running on a loop? It has to be managed. I mean, sometimes you literally have to stand up inside yourself and tell that voice to shut up. You know, self-confidence isn't some kind of magic you just hope to find one day. Nah, it's something you build. It's just self-trust. And how do you build trust with anyone? Simple. You keep your promises. Start with the small ones, the tiny ones, and just stack them up, one on top of the other, day after day. All right, here's your 4-step game plan. First, just acknowledge that critical voice. Don't fight it, just notice it's there, kind of like bad background music. Second, keep ridiculously small promises to yourself, like I'm gonna drink 1 glass of water when I wake up. Do it, boom, that's a win. Third, stack those wins. Actually take a second and give yourself credit. This is how you build momentum. And fourth, whenever you're at a crossroads, choose curiosity over fear. Curiosity opens doors, fear just slams them shut.
So how does all this come together into something you can actually repeat? Because growth isn't just some random thing that happens. It's a cycle. It has a pattern. And once you see the pattern, you can use it. Now, it's simple on paper, but that definitely doesn't mean it's easy.
So this is it, the cycle of growth. It starts with that little whisper inside you that says, there's got to be something more. Acting on that whisper, that takes courage. And acting on it is going to lead to mistakes. I promise you it will. But getting through those mistakes, that's what builds real self-trust. And finally, you celebrate how far you've come just before you realize there's a new, even bigger mountain to climb. So let's break each of these down.
So, growth begins the moment the thing that used to feel spectacular now feels kind of normal. That big leap of faith you took yesterday, that's just your new normal now. The ceiling you had to stretch to reach is now the solid ground you're standing on. And that's not a bad thing. It's a sign of progress. It's what makes you ask, all right, what's next? Yeah, the courage you had yesterday got you here, but it's not going to get you where you need to go tomorrow. You've got to step into the unknown all over again. And that feeling of discomfort, that pit in your stomach, that's just the price of admission for your own evolution. It's like you beat the first level of a video game, now it's time for the real challenge to begin.
You simply can't become the person you're meant to be without learning how to get there. And learning means messing up. A lot. But mistakes aren't a sign that you're weak. They are your curriculum. They are the tuition you pay for greatness. While everybody else is playing it safe, trying not to lose, you've got to play to win. And that means being willing to fail your way forward.
And this is where the real magic happens. It's in the quiet discipline of showing up again and again and again, especially on the days you don't want to. Success isn't about one single home run. It's about the relentless dedication to just keep stepping up to the plate. You just repeat and refine. That's how you build your future self, one rep at a time.
Sooner or later, you'll look back and you'll see this huge gap between where you are now and where you started. And you have to cherish these moments. Acknowledge what you've done. Enjoy the victory. And then, you normalize it. You recognize that this mountaintop you just climbed, it's now your new foundation. Your starting point has changed, and just like that, you find yourself right back at a new step one.
So what's the fuel for this whole engine? What power is this entire cycle? It's the non-negotiable, relentless, simple act of showing up. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about honoring the commitment you made to yourself, driven by nothing but pure conviction.
You see, average people, they rely on talent, but phenomenal people, they are fueled by effort. If you want results that are totally out of the ordinary, you have to bring extraordinary effort. We're talking about competitive stamina, deciding every single day to give your absolute best. It means you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when the day's mission is done.
And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? Success is so often just about hanging on when everybody else has let go. So many of life's failures are just people who didn't realize how incredibly close they were to success when they gave up. As long as you keep moving, you haven't failed. Period.
And you have to understand that this daily work, it compounds. In 1 month, you might not see much on the surface, but you're building deep, strong roots. In a year, okay, that growth starts to become visible to everyone. But in 10 years, that's when you see the quantum leaps. The person you can become in a decade is totally unrecognizable from who you are today, but they are built by the tiny choices you make every single day.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. It's time to take control of the story. The pen has always been in your hand. This isn't about hoping things work out. No, it's about resolving that this is how it's going to be.
Go ahead and tell everyone you know to delete the old version of you they have stored in their head. That version is expired. This year isn't about making a few little tweaks to who you were. This is a full-on, tear it down to the studs reinvention. You are building someone new from the ground up.
Listen, the time is going to pass either way. So, do you want to show up in 6 months with a life you deliberately built or with an excuse you've memorized? The discomfort is going to be real, but the version of you that you can't stop imagining, they live on the other side of it.
Look at this. This right here, this is the mantra for your journey. You rest at the finish line, not in the middle of the race. There are going to be moments where you feel completely alone on this path, when it seems like everyone else has stopped to take a break. Keep pushing forward. The only thing that matters is taking that very next step.
And it all comes down to this. That future version of you, the one who's strong and resilient and so damn proud, they're waiting for you. They are being forged by the decisions you make right now, in this moment. So the only question that matters is this: what's the first promise you're going to keep to yourself today?